and welcome to Auto Today. My name is Dipayan and you're joining me at the MG stall at the Auto Expo 2023 to check out two of their coolest new EVs, and this one of course is the MG4 that is being tested as we speak for Indian conditions, and depending on how they fare, one of these two EVs will make it to India very soon. Now the MG4 has a lot of special things in it, so let's take a closer look and see what this EV really offers. Now on the inside of the MG4, the cabin is pretty futuristic and laid out very intuitively, but one of the things that stand out of course is this 10.25-inch infotainment system that comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as standard. Aside from that, of course, the instruments are digital from the small TFT screen on the dash, and aside from that, everything is very well laid out, and the dash is nice and flat, which will give you a great view of the road while you're driving. Now the MG4 is slated to come to India, and if and when it does come to India, it will come with either one of two battery packs, which is a 51 kWh or a 64 kWh battery pack, and depending on which, you will get 450 kilometers of range or 600 kilometers of range. But what stands out are the charging options. Of course, you do get an AC fast charger as standard with the car, but the DC fast charging options allows you to charge the car from 0 to 80% in 39 minutes, and that's really fast for at least a day's worth of range.
And this is yet another car that MG has showcased at the 2023 Auto Expo. Now this is the EHS plug-in hybrid. This car produces 268 horsepower, does a 0 to 100 in 6.9 seconds, using a 1.5 litre turbocharged engine with hybrid technology that gives it an electric range of 52 kilometers. This is the interior. Looks pretty standard. Nice screen here. Obviously they aren't working at the moment, but pretty standard interior. But let's go ahead and take a look at the outside of the car. Right, so the front of the EHS here, this is a plug-in hybrid as I told you. This looks very similar to the Aster that we have. You can see the studded grille, again very similar to the Aster, same with the headlamps as well. Come around to the side here, 18-inch wheels, they look very sporty. So pretty plain sides here apart from the sporty wheels. If you come around to the back, there are LED tail lamps here, a decently sized boot as well, 448 litres that can be further expanded to over 1300 litres. And well, that's the MG EHS from the Auto Expo. There are more products that MG has showcased. Let's go ahead and take a look at them.
And also at the MG Pavilion is the EMG6, which is a plug-in hybrid from MG Motors. Now this is a pretty interesting sedan with 305 bhp and 400 Newton meters of torque and an additional electric motor for all that power. But I think this is one of the better looking MGs out there. It's got some really cool design tweaks like these carbon fiber mirrors and of course that massive spoiler at the back. So under the hood is a 1.5 litre turbocharged petrol motor that is of course assisted by a 1.1 kilowatt hour battery pack and an electric motor. But it is a pretty sporty looking sedan in its own right, as you can tell of course by this massive carbon fiber spoiler at the back. Of course, once this car comes to the road, it may not be exactly as you see it right now, but I still think it has what it takes to be a very good looking sedan. Of course, now let's jump over to the van and check out what else MG has to offer.
So here is yet another product from MG. Now this is a massive MPV. It's a luxury MPV. It is called the MIFA 9. It is an all-electric MPV, which is the most important detail about this car. 520 kilometers of range from a 90 kilowatt hour battery. Come take a look inside because that's where all the luxury is. Now we've seen luxury MPVs earlier as well from brands like Toyota with the Velfire as well as the Kia Carnival. Now this is kind of similar concepts, massive almost aircraft style business class seats here, fold out table. I've got a screen to control the various seating functions. There's a screen right in front of me. This is really for people who, well, mostly for businessmen who would want to travel in style and take their work with them on the go.
Another electric car on showcase from MG is of course the MG5, that is based on the MG4 but gets a station wagon body style. Now this particular station wagon gets a 61 kilowatt hour battery which gives you 525 kilometers of range. It makes about 156 bhp and 300 Nm of torque. But I think the thing that stands out is of course this station wagon body form, which is very unique.
So here is yet another product from MG. This one is called the ERX5 and has a completely different design language than what we've seen from regular MG cars. A whole new grille, different headlights, different styling. There's even a different badge. This is probably because it's sold under SIAC, which is the parent company for MG in China, and they have multiple brands under them. Now, this car uses a 1.5 litre turbocharged engine. We've also seen the same technology. It is a plug-in hybrid being used in other cars from MG. So it's pretty clear that this one engine is going to power a lot of future MG cars that are going to be released in very soon. Now again, about 50 kilometers of electric range from the 1.5 litre engine. This thing produces about 520 Newton meters of torque, so it's going to be pretty powerful. 248 horsepower, 14.3-inch screen, which we've seen in cars like the MG Hector as well, which has come out with that update. Pretty funky interiors as well. Let's take a quick look at that and the exteriors of the car.
Now finishing up for the MG Pavilion, of course, is the Marvel R, which is the sportier version of the Marvel X that was showcased at the last Auto Expo. That means you get 288 horsepower from this electric motor that is powered by a 71 kilowatt hour battery and offers 402 kilometers of range. Aside from that, it is a 4.6 meter long SUV and it has a pretty good styling package as well, with a lot of LEDs on the front as well as at the back. So let's take a quick look around and see what the Marvel R has to offer.